Hey, welcome back to the Man Cave Workshop, and thank you very much for joining me. Right then, so this Cycle Hunter, we know that the speaker is dud, and what we're going to do now is we're going to recap it. Recap the amp board and recap the main board and check everything's okay. I'm going to test these caps as we pull them out. Just as a note, this amp board, they are the A209. Now here's one off an older set, and you can see that they use different board for it. You know, this one's much more greener than this one. I'm just pointing out some little differences that you might notice if you start working on these. The other thing with the Hunter is this dial face. This one's black and white. Now they do a variant like this, which it has green writing on it as well. Other things you notice, speakers in them, you find ELAC speakers, you find Goodman speakers. Back to the dial plate. This dial plate is off an RP38 Hunter, so it's not the RP38A like this. And if you look here, you'll see it's only got a tone button, whereas the 38A has got the treble and the bass button. That's a dead easy way of seeing the difference. The case is coming in all sorts of different forms. With some have a mesh grill, some have striped grills, some are all black Rexine, some aren't. There's lots and lots of variants with these sets. But anyway, that's what I'll do. This big guy at the front here, we'll just check this one, and then I'll pause the camera and I'll recap the whole lot. I'm not going to show you every single cap being done. So let's get this amp board apart. Just three screws that hold the top in, and then you can sort of bend the top away to give you access to the board itself. Hoping everything's in shot here. That's good. All them screws came off okay. Sometimes you start filming and you get one that's really tricky. Not in this instance though. Again, let's pop them in this little tub so we don't lose them. And all the other bits that we've pulled off up to now. Right, so you can gently, let me see, you can gently then lift. You don't want to be snapping these wires here to these outputs, so just be careful when you lift them up. Let's pull this one. I have got a schematic. I'm just going to look what value it's supposed to be. So it says on it 470 UF, which we know is my preferred adds really, and it's at, how many volts is it at? Let's have another look. This one says 10 volts. So what we want to do is put, if this is out of spec, which I'm going to recap the thing anyway. We want to go as close as we can to 470, which I do have some 470 caps, and we want to go, if anything, higher on the voltage or the same, but never lower on the voltage. So let's just pull this out. I'm using another old soldering iron. This one's a Weller 2.5. It was in a bit of a sorry state when I got it, but I've cleaned it up and it's working okay now. It says, I don't know if it's, oh yeah, I can feel the heat off it. So yeah, let's lift this leg. It is going to lift. Sometimes you have to add a little bit more solder. There we go. If the solder's not playing, you just add more solder and it tends to release. Again, I keep saying there's 101 videos out there on recapping stuff. So this should read 470. Let's see what this meter makes of it. Get it on properly. Get it on the right setting. Alright, so it's saying 636. So that's gone high, hasn't it? It's gone quite high, that, and I imagine all the others will be the same. So I'm going to pause the video now, and I'll recap the whole lot, everything on this one, because I don't want it to blow another speaker. So we'll recap everything, the main board and this amp board. So after I've paused, you'll see it all nicely recapped. Okay. Okay, so that's the amp board recapped. Let me lift it up so you can get a good look at that. Use Vichy caps on it. Try to keep it all nice and neat. No dry solder joints anywhere. I do need to clean the back with the isopropyl in a minute just to get rid of any excess flux. These caps that I took out here, they were all high. I haven't seen anything yet that suggests how that speaker got blown though. They were high, but they weren't ridiculous. I mean, well, the 470 reading 630 was quite high. They're probably very leaky as well. Next job is to recap the main board. So yet again, I will pause and get on with that. So there we go. There's the main board all recapped. If you look in it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 caps. All been done. Let me see if I can get a bit better light on it. I've used Vichys for the main part. These two here, sorry, these three, they're 6.8 UF. Like we say, we all know it's microfarads. And they're Nichicons, because I didn't have any of the Vichy 6.8s in. I don't even know if Vichy do them. Probably do, but it's all good. I've had a look down underneath the dial here, and like I say, this Hunter is, excuse me, it's extremely clean. There's not even any dust under there, so I'm not going to take the dial off or anything like that. I'll just give it a wipe over. I mean, the dial face, it looks very unscratched as well, so after a wipe over with some just window clean spray, I think that'll be adequate in this case. Even the chrome trims are in exceptional condition. The other thing about this Hunter is the badge on the case. If you can see that, can we focus? It does need a little bit of touch up. So what I'm going to do is, the way I do these is I'm going to put black enamel paint all over it. I'm not going to take it off, I'm just going to mask it. And then as the lettering on it and the outside sort of frame is higher, what you do then, you just get some light sandpaper with a block and just rub over it, and it brings up the silver, all the lettering back. What does let this one down are these black bits that have come off here and here, so we'll just touch them in. Now, looking at the case, I've not seen in a long time as good an original T-Kens. I've not touched it yet, and as you can see, they're in wonderful condition as they are. There's a little bit of a blemish there. What I'm going to do with this one, I usually use Danish oil on them and give them a really deep shine. Let me show you one that I've done. Now the thing is with the Danish oil, it's brilliant, but it does tend to darken the wood a shade. That's in my experience anyway. So here's one I have done. As you see, it's the same model Hunter. This is one I've done in the past, and yes, it's lovely. And Danish oil does bring a glass finish. I do like that. But as you can see, it does tend to darken the wood ever so slightly. In this case, because we got really bright lights on, it is exaggerated. This is only slightly darker than this in reality. I'm all in favour of refinishing them when they are in bad condition. This one was in really bad condition. That's why it got this treatment. This one, you know, originality, I could do it and bring it up to the standard that other one is, but the standard it's got itself, I think, is lovely. It's still got some of its original sheen. So what I'm going to do is just, again, soap and water with a soft cloth and just wipe it over. And then we'll just clean it all up. I mean, inside it's very, very clean, this one. So that's all I'm going to do with the case. Oh, no, we're going to change that foot for a new one because that one's broke. And then we'll put it all back together. And see if it works now. I've fiddled and messed about with it. The possibility of putting, rather than really shiny Danish oil, I might use teak oil on it after it's been washed. So I'm going to pause the video again and get on with that, and we'll see what it looks like after. Oh yeah, by the way, I did find a spare Hunter speaker. I knew I had one somewhere, and looking round I actually found not one but two. So what I'll do is just clean one of these up. They're both ELAC speakers. They're not in as good a condition as the one that was in it, but they do work. So I'm going to clean one of these up a little bit, and we'll use one of these speakers in it. Always good to keep spare parts off trash sets. Let's just have a look at that. The one that says Duff on it. How clean that was. It is such a shame that this one doesn't work. And it hardly looks like it's had any use. So anyway, onwards and upwards. Get on with the case now. Like I say, I'll pause it and we'll see how it comes up. Okay, there we go. We got the speaker in. We put it all back together, which is just the reverse of the disassemble. The ends come up okay. They've just had teak oil on them actually. I wanted to keep this one looking fairly original, close to original as we can get. Grills come up okay. It's no longer got them black bits missing, as did the badge. The badge looks wonderful now. The buttons on the top just had a wipe over, handle put back on. Oh, did find a spare foot for the bottom, so that's okay now. I guess all there is to do now is to give it a spin. What have we done to this radio? Recapped it. Found out the speaker had blown. Put a spare speaker in. There she is. Sorry about that, I just nudged the camera. So let's put some power to it. Takes 18 volts. I could put PP9 batteries in it, but I've got the DC power supply at hand. And let's switch that on. Got 18 volts. Let's turn this out. I'm sorry about that. I've got my, you can see my fluorescent light shining on the dial face. Not much I can do about that, because if I didn't have them on, we wouldn't be able to see anything. What are we on? We're on medium wave. Airbil's down. Let's turn her on. Say, in the Man Cave workshop, all radios pick up medium wave better when they're facing that way. So let's try and tune in.
The managers that have that aura about them, they have that class as their speciality. You look at it again,
yeah, bass and treble work. Let's keep them at 12 o'clock.
There's none of whom it appears, according to the fans, and actually Jason Perry and I agree, at least on two of the officials, covered themselves in glory today, as Cardiff had to settle for a 2-2 draw.
In some places, Network Rail's urging passengers to check before travelling.
They shoot forward. Not a great ball bought by Alexander Arnold, and then Hadley with a short turn to take the ball away.
So I go, medium wave works. Let's try long wave. Can usually get radio 4 around here sometimes in here.
Chelsea is our health editor, Hugh Pym.
So far, 9 patients have been treated in the UK after contracting the new corona.
That seems fine. Let's try VHF FM. Let's pull the aerial up a bit. The aerial's in fantastic condition.
others 7 have also been given the all clear after testing negative for the virus and ended their stay in. Park Hospital in Wirral, after returning from China, have gone home. That leaves just over 100 still at a hotel in Milton Keynes.
So that base pot could do with cleaning a little bit.
Been in quarantine, and staff who'd cared for them, and others in hospitals.
But yeah, all seems to work fine. That's as far as I'm going with this one. I know you can do quite a lot more to them if you want to, but I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. So again, have a look inside. It was good fun finding the fault on this one, which turned out to be that speaker. So there's another hacker hunter saved. So there you go. As always, I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, and thank you for joining me in this hacker hunter series. Been quite a quick one, this, and I hope you join me in the next one, which will come soon, hopefully. As always, be good to each other and take care. Catch ya.